What's up? It's Thursday. I can't even believe how fast these days are going. I am just honored to be here and grateful for you. And thank you for tuning in. My voice is still a little, but of the things that have been going on around the horn, that's ESPN, whatever, lately. And man, as I don't know if we should just kind of start with what I put in the title concerning you know who, our favorite jihadi who was installed as mayor of New York City, which is really, I'm still tripping about that. Um, there's quite a bit surrounding that whole thing, and it's not getting any better. But there may be a sliver of hope that people are starting to look at this and go, this looks a little odd. Maybe he wasn't who I thought he was. So I'm sure there's at least one liberal in New York City who is starting to get buyer's remorse concerning that, after seeing something like this, where you've got this posted on X. Let's just dive into it, shall we? We'll probably show it again by later on in the broadcast when other people join us, because this one is kind of strange. And I need to do like a check on this. But if this idiot is admitting to it, I think it's pretty much. The other day, or maybe it was today, Zorhan Mamdami is expected to require all New York elementary school students to learn Arabic numerals. As a Jewish American, I still support this 100%. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're a freaking liar. Ed Krasenstein, because your shitty kids don't have to be in this New York school system under the control of this jihadi pretending to be a car salesman, snake oil salesman, and overall asshole. Requiring elementary school students to learn Arabic numerals? Why? Why would that be required of all students in the New York City school system? Do you know how much more money that will cost? Oh, and I thought he was not going to be a a pain in the ass, and I thought he wasn't going to be a jihadi. I thought he was a, what does he call himself? A social democrat or a democratic socialist, which there's actually no such thing. You're either a socialist, communist, or a jihadi, or you're all three. And he is all three. So yeah, there he is. Ed Krasenstein is supposedly Jewish, and he supports this. He's lying through his teeth. It's because his kids don't have to deal with this creep. So we'll come back to that one in a little while. But I am sure that there have to be at least one New Yorker who has buyer's remorse like that. Let me actually, you know what? Why not? Let's just hold on. Hold on. Well, let's see. Well, it says it's satire, but I don't trust this dude. And there's a bunch, I don't do fact checkers ever. I don't do fact checkers. I do not do fact checkers. I like it was satire, but I don't believe it actually is based on what we've been seeing in Texas lately, where it's so bad in Texas, the uh Islamic takeover. Oh, bravo, honey. Now you know this is a background, but thank you. Thank you. You're so sweet. What we've been seeing in Texas, it got so bad, the Islamic takeover in Texas, that could have done this a long time ago, but he finally got around to declaring the Muslim Brotherhood and CAIR. I don't know if that's I don't know if the acronym is. It's got something to do with international relations, blah blah blah. Something Islamic is not international relations. But he to and is proud to, I mean, look, he's pictured with the one of the orchestrators, or the he was not prosecuted or convicted for helping to plan the is it, was it 9/11 or so he's clearly tied to the Muslim Brotherhood. He is clearly a snake oil salesman. He is coming in with that smiling, 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 smile, 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 some more, smile. He brought roses. Remember his commercial? He brought roses, still smiling, smiling. He's an actor, for God's sake. He is an actor. He is an actor. What's up, Roger from Toronto? What's up, my maple syrup brother? How goes it? Welcome, welcome. So glad to see you. Yeah, so he is just like already showing signs that something is off about him. Something to that in just a moment, but I'm going to reiterate on the fact his mother is a famous Bollywood movie director. My goodness, could it be that he's a theater kid and an actor, but also a jihadi and definitely a communist who wants to own the means of production? Those are his words. What, and did you see part of his plan? Hold on, I'll let it, you know what? I'll let him tell you himself. I'm going to find this one. He said that he was going to, with regard to landlords, already after putting a rent cap on what a landlord can charge, or a property owner. I'll say that, a property manager, property owner, property company, whatever. He is putting a limit on what you can charge for renters and yeah, those who are renting your property. So your property, if he caps it at 1,500, 2,000, you're losing half your money or more. He doesn't care. Okay. Money and riches for me, but not for thee. Because Zorhan, Mamdami, Muhammad is not poor. He's not poor. He doesn't come from poverty. He is, just because he lived in Uganda, he was of the credential club echelon, the elites in Uganda. He probably hates Negroes who live in Uganda, the black darkies. I am positive he has no time for them. So just because you hear the country Uganda, you think Ugabi, 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 ooh, Ugabi, 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 ooh. No, not them. Crack me up. Not them. The other teaching some kind of a ridiculous classes at Columbia University that has more to do with DEI than anything else. It's some kind of African studies course. Secretary Linda McMahon, they need to pull all of the federal money from Columbia University. Remember, Columbia University had those constant violent attacks against Jewish students. Remember that? And I know people get all bent out of shape about Jews. It's the Jews. I'm not even talking about that at this point in time. I'm talking about when a group singles out another group for any reason, that is not allowed. They got away with it for a while. Columbia did nothing about it. Jewish students were locked. They had to lock themselves in the library because these crazies were who were free Palestine, free Palestine, were outside of the library banging on the window like a bunch of crazy ass crack monkeys, trying to get into the dang on library to tear these poor students limb from limb. And if they hadn't locked themselves in there, they would have. So it's just a bunch of nonsense. Why are you that violent against a group you know nothing about? And why, if you are that violent and you're a foreign student, you don't need to be here. You take that mess back to your country. We don't rock like that here. We don't act like a bunch of classless, wild ass savages. Well, okay, I take that back. Yeah, Democrats, yeah, they do. They do. And those who support that party, yeah, they actually do. So I don't claim them. They're like the disappointments room upstairs from back in the days of like the old English days. That if there was a kid who was born and they had like a one leg, or if they couldn't get right in one way or the other, they just put them upstairs in a disappointments room. They bring them their meals 3 times a day and basically keep them locked up there away from everybody else. That's a fact. That's the way they used to dog them kids out and treat them until they were grown enough. And then they just sent them out into the world to figure it out. It's crazy. So, yeah, where we're at right now is these, we're kind of stuck with this dude, and we don't know what's happening as far as what is his real intentions. We can only speculate, but he's meeting with and I mean Muhammad. He's meeting with President Trump tomorrow. And why did he get a meeting so fast? Why is it that he got a meeting that is so fast? I don't know what he could possibly have to talk to the president about. Because when the National Guard, and when they're ready to go into New York, they're going into New York, whether his narrow ass likes it or not. You're still on a naturalized visa. And Muhammad, you're a dual citizen. You're not even a full American citizen. You're a dual, you have loyalties somewhere else. So at some point, he's going to have to make a decision. You want to be the mayor of New York? You're not going to get to just have 1 foot in the water and 1 foot out. You're going to have to choose. Do you want to be a Ugandan citizen? Or do you want to be an American citizen? Because you can't have both. Just, we can't have all this dual citizenship bullcrap. We shouldn't have it in Congress. We definitely shouldn't have it with the dude who's going to run the city of New York, where Wall Street, oh my God. This is not good. This is not good. So, this dude is really, this is something that's not, oh, wait a minute. I was going to find, that's what I was going to do. I was going to find where he said that he was going to require landlords to do the rent cap thing. And if somebody even complains once, a renter complains about, the sink is leaking, or there's droplets of water, or, there's something wrong with the apartment, and he won't fix it. Well, he can't fix it because he's not making as much money as he normally would, because he's not bringing in market rent. The homeowner, property manager, property owner is only bringing in a fraction of what they would normally have if there had been rent controls. There's been rent control in New York for decades, but this dude is going to really put the screws to it, because he already said that he was going to start off by giving these property owners the option to hurry up and fix whatever is wrong. And if you don't, and the city of New York has to come in and fix it, then they're going to just take over the property. Hold on. Hold, please. And don't even bother with a fact check. Yeah, I see there's no fact checks because he's on video saying it. So I'm reading down the line to make sure there's no fact checks. Let me see. Da 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 da. Wants to replace. Hold on. Hold please. Sorry. I want to find the one where he said himself that and oh yeah, by the way, he lives in a rent controlled apartment. And he's wealthy. Unreal. Okay, hold on. It's not showing up. Of course, I'm gonna have to go over to the other one. Hold on. Sorry. Da, da, da. Of course. Okay, you know what? I'll find it for next time. But I'm telling you, he said very plainly in a video, he is on record saying that he will take over control of any apartment if the city of New York, under his administration, has to go in and make repairs that any apartment or property owner refused to make, that if he has to go in and send the city in to fix it, they're just going to take over the apartment. I don't even think that's legal. I will find the video. I thought I had it already, but apparently not. But let's definitely talk about how he is begging for money, because that is in my title. He has been begging for money for his so-called transition costs having to do with him. Where in the world? Leave party, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wait. Yeah, we'll do this one.
Zorhan Mamdami is asking for money again, and he has not even taken office yet. And he says the money's not coming from big donors, it's coming from the average person. What about this whole socialism thing where things are free and the billionaires are going to pay for it?
Mayor-elect Zorhan Mamdami seeking millions of additional dollars in donations to help fund his transition to City Hall.
Yeah.
I hope very soon not to have to ask you for money. But until then, I'm asking.
In a social media video, Mamdani said his team needs $4 million total to vet resumes, pay the transition team, and plan the inauguration and implement his agenda starting day one. So far, the transition raised $1 million with an average donation of about $80.
Zorhan Mamdani actually make a video asking people in New York City to donate to his campaign so that they could actually pay for his socialist policies? Did this actually happen? I honestly just love his plan for all this. He's like, hey, listen, we're going to make New York City more affordable. Just give me all your money.
What happens if my dad starts Tai Chi tomorrow?
How old is your father?
He is.
You guys won't believe this. Things are beginning to get worse. As you heard, the voters are already realizing that there is some type of scam going on here. Zorhan Mamdani, for the second time, has launched a campaign video to ask for donations and more money. The first one was after he won, where he said, can you please resume and send us some more money for a transition team? Now he is doing it again, pissing off a lot of his voters by saying very specifically the amount of money that he needs this time. He's being very specific in this video that I'm about to play, because he launched an ad to try to get donations from a socialist asking for donations. What can possibly go wrong? Well, I got few updates. I got this one, and then I have another update. So please stick around, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to smash the like button right now if you guys can. Let me read this before playing this video of him asking for these donations. I promise that I'm going to make everything free, he says. He gets elected. Okay, now give me $4 million. Take a look at this ad.
It's been 2 weeks since we won the election. We've been pretty busy.
Projects the Democratic Socialist Zorhan Mamdami.
Too often, this is a time of just celebration as opposed to preparation. We want to make it both.
A lot of these things are new, but one of them is pretty old, fundraising. But why are we fundraising? Well, we have less than 50 days until we take office. We have a lot to do. We have to vet the 50,000 resumes we've received. Right? We have to keep paying our incredible team. Thank you. And we have to plan not just our inauguration, but our policy implementation. Now, unlike the campaign, transitions do not get public matching funds from the city. So that 8-to-1 match, gone. It's up to us to raise the money. Usually campaigns take that as an opportunity to rely on wealthy donors, but that's not us. You've already been incredible. We've raised more than $1 million in just 2 weeks. Our average donation is around $77, and more than 12,000 of you have donated so far, which is much lower than the last administration's transition.
Who is dumb enough to give a democratic socialist jihadi who is dumb enough to donate to him? I thought everything was supposed to be free. Are people really this freaking dumb? Who is going in their wallet or going in their Apple Pay and sending this creep money for a transition? This isn't even, okay, wait till he gets in there. Wait till he gets in there. See, this is just a test. These are all crash test dummies who are donating right now to his transition. Wait until he's sworn in. We'll see what happens after his meeting with President Trump tomorrow. This bastard might be denaturalized because he has been talking smack about President Trump since before he even campaigned. But we'll see what happens. But he's literally not even in the chair. He doesn't even have his name on the freaking door, and he's begging for money. Do you think this is the last time he's going to beg for money? See, once he's maybe sworn in, then it'll be, oh, well, we need to fundraise again. This time it's for our incredible policy having to do with fighting the billionaires and the slumlords. And then it'll be another fundraiser. Oh, we're raising money for our wonderful children here in the New York City community, and we need your help. He's an actor. His mother is a Bollywood movie director. He's a theater kid. He knows how to be a suave and charming. He has been groomed to do this job. A freaking jihadi. I'll roll the film, and credit to LV Nation over on YouTube for posting this.
We're still asking for your help because we need to raise $4 million in total. So January 1st can be the day we start to deliver.
This is actually insane. Ladies and gentlemen, the money is coming from the actual people that voted for him, because they voted for him specifically because they wanted the free stuff. They wanted the free buses. They are struggling with affordability, so they can't really come out of pocket to really pay for nothing. But he is still asking for now he's asking for $4 million. Specifically, he's also glancing that hey, we've raised over $1 million from you, the people that I promised would get the free stuff. So someone at the end of the day is paying for this. And who is paying for this? The people that voted for him are paying for this. So what type of scam are you actually running? Let's keep listening.
Not start to prepare. I hope very soon not to have to ask you for money. But until then, I'm asking for you to go to transition2025.com and give whatever you can
to
help build a New York that everyone can afford. This is your city, and I can't wait to get to work.
Shut up, creep.
No, I'm kidding. Thank you, guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
You dumb porch Negro. He hates
this guy. Look, I'm a real New Yorker, bro. Been in New York my whole entire life. I just know this. And it's crazy because a lot of the people that voted for him aren't even from New York for real. It's a lot of new voters, a lot of people that just been living here for about what, 4 or 5 years. They're not really people that really been through the pain and the struggle.
Yep.
So I'm not saying that what we've had has been great and what's going on is great, but I'm also not going to say that this guy I'm excited about. I'm just not. And especially asking for donations after, promising the free stuff, it's pretty out of hand. Let me read this real quick. I saw this and I thought it was very interesting. Let me read this for you guys. So New York City elects Zorhan Mamdani. He took to social media Tuesday to ask supporters for donations to help fund his transition again. Mamdani said that so far that his campaign has raised $1 million to cover transition expenses, but they need $4 million. Oh man, you got to be kidding me. Unlike during the campaign, transitions do not receive public matching fees. He says, we have less than 50 days until we take office and we have to do a lot, he says. Mamdani said in the video, right? New York City voted for this. Now you got to deal with it. Unfortunately, we tried to warn you. He is already asking for money. I went to school with the mayor of a nearby town near me, and he not one single time asked people for a dime. Something is seriously off with this Mamdani fraud. But here's the thing.
This digital calendar, lightening my mental load, makes it worth every penny. I wasn't fully convinced the Skylight calendar would be able.
A lot of these things that he is promising, he's got to get through them. He's got to get through the governor. He's got to get through the assembly. He's got to get through New York City lawmakers. He's got to get through all of this. So all of this money, yes, is coming from the pocket of the people, not from rich, wealthy donors, he says. But when you do the math, we have done the exact math. And when you look at it, Mamdani's donations do come from billionaires. In fact, there is a crazy amount of proof from Sam Antar, who is an investigative journalist. And he links all of this to George Soros.
Then why did
he links? And by the way, this is the connections and the ties. So George Soros Foundation to promote open society, ties to foundation, all the foundations, everything, and I mean everything, leading up to mayoral candidate Zorhan Mamdani. So New York City Committee for Change, Jewish Voice for Peace Action, all this money is being run through. And he is showing all the connections, starting from George Soros to the Open Society Fund, Open Society Action Fund, all these funds, boom, 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 boom. Everything is just like being tied, going through the realm like a train, right? Like multiple trains. And then it all leads here. All 6 endorsed, the Working Families Party, all this money equals here. So he says that a lot of this money to win, or a lot of his money isn't coming from wealthy donors. Well, we know where it's coming from. It's coming from the Working Family Party. It came from at that time when he was running, it came from the Open Society Foundation, or at least foundations that are, again, funded by this primary foundation when you track the money, which is what Sam Antar did. So again, you can't lie to the American people or people of New York City. So Sam Antar, again, how George Soros' tax-exempt syndicate laundered charitable donations into political support and ground operations for Zorhan Mamdani. This is why people call for George Soros to be kicked out of politics. How is he not kicked out of donating, or his companies, or his nonprofits or his foundations do not get banned? But he has all the proof. Sam Antar. When sophisticated political operatives with expert legal counsel openly describe themselves as coordinating partners in public reports while simultaneously filing IRS forms denying any coordination, you're not looking at mistakes. You're looking at a systematic fraud. The smoking guns are the Working Families Party, Sam Antar says. November 2022, memo openly admits coordinating independent expenditures and political activities that are legally required. And again, so he has all this proof. I could drop a link for you guys. Sam E. Antar is his name. And again, laundering operation coming from the George Soros Foundation to promote open society. This is some wild information to come out. So if you're
40 million. Once again, shout out to LV Nation for sharing this and for sharing these links. If you get a chance, check that out. Sam Antar on X has given has done extensive investigative journalism to get all of these numbers together. Look at this. Look at this. Why is Zorhan Mamdami, Muhammad asking for money from people who are broke? Man, fuck this dude. Look at that. I'm done with him. Ugh, gross. I'm done with him. Why is he asking people who have little to no money for money? Why, sorry. Why is he bothering people? Excuse me, before Thanksgiving and Christmas? Oh, that's right, because he doesn't celebrate it. So he doesn't give a shit. Why do we do this to ourselves in America? Why do we let these fucking people in here and all they do is take our laws and our Constitution and shove it back in our face and use it for their advantage and their agenda? Do you know how many people are now starting to talk about an all-out absolute moratorium on all immigration? How long have I been talking about that? If you see me on X for about the past, probably since I started back on X, I have been talking about this. I can go back 2 years ago and find the posts where I posted on X and nobody else was. Complete moratorium. Absolute immediate moratorium on all immigration, not just illegals. I mean, everybody, all visas shut off, all H-1B, H-2C, everybody get the hell out. Go back to your country. We got work to do here. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. One of the reasons that I'm saying this is because of something that I saw in a New York Post article. And it is this headline from the New York Post. Ford CEO Jim Farley laments he can't fill 5,000 mechanic jobs starting out at $120,000 per year. We are in trouble in our country. Bro, there should be people lined up, American citizens only. American citizens only. No illegals, no foreigners, no visa holders, nobody who has not been here at least 4 generations. Fuck you. This is not your country. It's mine. Go back to where you came from. I don't give a crap. Yeah, racist. Which race? Exactly which race? Because I want equally all of them gone. I don't care who they are. I don't care where they come from. The dark ones, the light ones, the brown ones, the green ones, the orange ones, everybody. I want you gone. Period. Ford has been unable to fill some 5,000 openings for mechanics, despite offering a salary of $120,000 a year, promoting the company's chief executive to warn of a dire shortage of skilled tradespeople in the U.S. Bro, these instead of sending kids off to see these stupid indoctrination centers known as colleges and universities, send them to trade school and automotive school, and they can come out the gate making $120,000 a year as like a 22-year-old. And you don't have to go into $130,000, $40,000 in debt to go to school. It's unbelievable. This is so easy. He said, we do not have trade schools, he fumed. Earlier this year, Ford rolled out a $4 million initiative to fund scholarships for auto technicians. We are not investing in education, educating a next generation of people like my grandfather who had nothing, Henry, by God, Ford, who built a middle-class life and a future for his family. Farley said. Farley's not a Ford, but I saw the movie Ford versus Ferrari, and that was in there. That was a really good movie. I'm kind of a gearhead, so I enjoy Ford versus Ferrari. That was a really good movie. He said his granddad was an employee 389 at Ford and worked on the company's flagship Model T. Dude, what do we got to do to get young people excited about something other than social media or wasting 4 years and $100,000 on going to college, and you're going to leave not even knowing if you can find a job? They at Ford have this scholarship program that will pay you to learn to be an auto tech, and you will go out the gate, out your training, complete your training, and start at $120,000 a year. Where else are you going to find that? It used to be truck driving for a while until Joe Biden and that Hindu whore Kamala Harris showed up. American truckers used to make out the gate $130,000 a year until the illegals showed up and started taking over all the jobs, and then the salaries went down and the truckers disappeared. And now these illegal alien truckers with non-domicile CDLs are killing people on the road. It's a freaking mess. It's a freaking mess. Absolute mess. So yeah, there we go. Ford needs immediately to fill 5,000 jobs for auto mechanics. Like yesterday, right now. That is from the CEO. Bro. And you got these Democrats running around screeching about Epstein for the last 6 months. Release the files. Release the files. Now getting released. They don't want to talk about Epstein now. They're done with Epstein. They don't want to talk about Epstein. I made a video earlier about Alyssa Slotkin. That dumb female. Now she is talking about the housing crisis. Wait a minute, fatty. 2 days ago, you were with 4 or 5 other so-called sitting members of Congress making a video committing sedition according to 18 USC 2387, committing sedition by instructing and inciting a mutiny for you against United States active duty soldiers. You didn't think that the president was going to learn about that and have something to say about it? And now the president has chimed back in and said they should all be hanged for fucking treason. And these individuals are the equivalent of the bully who keeps smacking the crap out of one kid every day and stealing his lunch money. And every day terrorizing this kid. And finally, the kid says, screw you. I'm fighting back because I'm tired of you bothering me. And he hits the kid. And then the teacher finally sees it. Oh, you brute. You absolute brute. How dare you hit this innocent poor child? It's like he's been terrorizing me the whole school year. You just now seen me fight back. And now you want to say something? Thank you, Bottle Kev 50, for reposting the stream, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. How y'all doing here? Everybody doing all right? Everybody doing all right? You know, we got to bring the heat, man. We're at war with these people. They started this. Because they have so much to hide of their dirty deeds done dirt cheap over the years, and they know President Trump is not going to hold back exposing them and doing everything he can to restore this great nation, because all they've been doing is stealing from us and watching us get poorer and poorer. Alyssa Slotkin's dumbass suddenly shows up and says, yeah, we got to do something about the housing crisis. Bitch, the party's over. The chips are down. The balloons deflated. Everybody left. It's like one piece of cake left on the table. Go get your fat ass over there and get the piece of cake, because I know you want it. You know, why are you just now? You've been screeching about Epstein files and everything else, and excoriating President Trump on everything he's doing to restore this great nation. And now all of a sudden, you just realize that American citizens have been hurting for 4 years because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. You just now, aren't you supposed to be connected to your constituents? You just now figuring out there's a housing crisis. Idiot. What a useless, disgusting lump of cells. She's worth, well, at least on paper, her portfolio says that she has $7 million in assets and money laying around somewhere, and I'm sure she has more than one property. I don't give. Oh, look, that's cool. You got Tom and Jerry on there. That's cool. I do enjoy Tex Avery cartoons, by the way. Those are freaking hilarious. The old Tex Avery cartoons. Yeah, those are freaking hilarious. They were racist as hell, and me and my little brother, we never cared. We just laughed our asses off because it was funny. It was funny. So anyway, yeah, Alyssa Slotkin, so-called Michigan senator, is completely disconnected from reality and from her constituents, because she had no idea that they've been suffering because of their policies, because she's the one who signed off on all of this Ukraine aid for the last 4 years. That has inflated the economy and made everything unaffordable. But, she's got $7 million floating around. So why should she give a shit? The economy doesn't affect her whether it passes or fails. She has money. Yeah, I kind of do too. I really do too. These freaking Republicans that we elected better get up off their ass and start doing something. And they better go scorched earth, because President Trump is at the point he is sick of this shit from these people. You think I'm kidding? Look at this interview. Look at him with the crown prince and this dumb whore who asked him a stupid question in the presence of the crown. Is one of his dear friends. Oh, hang on. Oh yeah. Yeah, here we go. Look at this ugly whore. Look at this. President Trump is going to absolutely put this retard in her place. She is going to absolutely regret waking up and asking such a dumb question. I love our president so much. And the Democrats are not used to somebody fighting back. That's why they can't stand him. But yeah, Battlecab 50 said, talking about Alyssa Slotkin, she really knows better, especially being a part of the CIA. Yeah, we would think, but she's kind of dumb. Just like this so-called reporter is dumb.
Is it appropriate, Mr. President, for your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president? Is that a conflict of interest? And Your Royal Highness, the U.S. intelligence concluded that you orchestrated the brutal murder of a journalist. 9/11 families are furious that you are here in the Oval Office. Why should Americans trust you? And the same to you, Mr. President.
Now, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You're with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the worst in the business. But I'll answer your question. I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I've devoted 100% of my energy. What my family does is fine. They do business all over. They've done very little with Saudi Arabia. I'm sure they could do a lot. And anything they've done has been very good. That's what we've done. We've built a tremendous business for a long time. I've been very successful. I decided to leave that success behind and make America very successful. And I've made America more successful by far than it ever was. Right. And that it ever could have been, no matter who was president. There would be nobody bringing in $21 trillion, that I can tell you right now. As far as this gentleman is concerned, he's done a phenomenal job. You're mentioning somebody that was extremely controversial. Yep. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
Just yes, Mr. President, if you allow me to answer. I feel painful about, the families of 9/11 in America. But, we have to focus on reality. Reality based on CIA documents and based on a lot of documents that Osama bin Laden, he used Saudi people in that event for one main purpose, is to destroy this relation, to destroy the American-Saudi relation. That's the purpose of 9/11. So whoever buying that means they are helping Osama bin Laden's purpose of destroying this relation. He knows that strong relation between America and Saudi Arabia, it's bad for extremism, it's bad for terrorism. And we have to approve him wrong and to build our relation, to continue developing our relation. It's critical in the safety of the world. It's critical against extremism. And
look at her face. She's a nasty bitch. She is nasty. She is nasty. She's a bitch everywhere she goes. If you get her coffee, her latte, even 1 degree too hot or not hot enough at Starbucks, look at that wretched look on her face. She will have wrinkles within 5 years. And she probably doesn't now because of, I don't know, botulism in her face. She can't smile because she's had a lot of work done. She is an ungrateful, disgusting whore. Look at the look on her face. She's never satisfied. She's climbing a little corporate ladder. She has left a bunch of carnage along the way of her and her career and furthering her career. And she doesn't care how disrespectful and tactless and classless she is by insulting the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, asking him something so outlandish at this inappropriate time. President Trump went through a lot of trouble and his staff to make the crown prince's visit absolutely regal and show welcoming. And then you get this ugly whore. You know, bitch, you need to get off the coke. Disgusting. This isn't even the worst one. There's another one where President Trump absolutely throws this. I was getting ready to say something real bad. Throws this trash in the landfill. Let's continue.
And terrorism. About anyone that been losing his life for no real purpose or nothing.
And Jamal Khashoggi, she wants to pull this journalism card. He's a journalist. He's a journalist. He's a journalist. Bitch, you didn't never mention Jamal Khashoggi before this incident. None of these journalists gave a crap about Jamal Khashoggi until Saudi Arabia was named as a conspirator in this dude's demise. What a creep she is. Disrespectful.
Legal way, and it's been painful for us in Saudi Arabia. We've did all the right steps of investigation, etc. in Saudi Arabia, and we've improved our system to be sure that nothing happened like that. And it's painful, and it's a huge mistake, and we are doing our best.
Okay, whore, enough. Don't ask any more questions. And no more questions for ABC.
Happen again.
Mr. President, thank you, Mr. President. The Crown Prince has been instrumental in helping lifting the sanctions on Syria. Will there be any joint investment between the U.S.
Finally, a good, decent question from a real journalist and not a crack whore. But this is not the video that I was talking about. The video that I'm actually talking about, he wrote, oh my gosh, I gotta find it. Let's see, hold on. What did she ask about? Hold on. Let me see if it comes up with this. Oh, here we go. This is the one.
This is why I stopped shopping on Amazon, and you should too. Don't spend another dime on Amazon.
Wow.
Thank you, Mr. President.
These two are good friends. I don't know if anybody pays attention or paid attention when the president went over to the Middle East, but the Crown Prince is his good friend and has been for a long time. These two are very close. They are good friends. And these lowly losers are trying to cause conflict. And it's not working because American citizens are not interested in the little sand fights between these actors pretending to be journalists. We're annoyed by it. That's why ABC has some of the worst ratings. That's why I get more engagement than ABC. And I am just a girl with a camera and a really passionate, bad attitude toward stupid people. So let's get into this, because I want you to hear what President Trump, as I mentioned, is frustrated with these dumb, stupid people. We don't have time for stupid people. Okay. These dumb actors pretending to be journalists are making 7 figures a year to lie to you. Do not believe anything they say. I'm not interested in Epstein files. And I will get into that after the video.
This relation has been a relation for about 9 decades, and we've been working together for a long time. But today it's a very important time in our history, because there's also a lot of things that we're working on in the future. We believe in the future of the United States of America. We believe in what you're doing, Mr. President, is really creating a lot of good things and good foundation to create more economic growth, more business in America. And it will also your work for the world peace.
We've been listening to President Donald Trump at the White House side by side with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman. An interesting, fiery at times press availability, to say for certain. The president there asked a number of questions, including about the murder of Washington Post journalist Jamal Khashoggi. The president getting animated with the reporter from ABC News who asked that question, telling the reporter, stopping her as she was asking that question, that MBS knew nothing about it, saying you don't have to embarrass our guest by...
Because he's sick of you. Let me get to the part where... blah, 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 blah. Hold on. Where is the part? I think it might be this.
I have nothing to do with the family business. I have left, and when I...
Hold on. It might be this.
Are expected to come out of this. Remember, one of the things President Trump has talked extensively about is trying to get investments from these Gulf countries, particularly Saudi Arabia. For example, one of the things we know is that the Crown Prince...
Hang on. I don't want her talking. I want to hear where she got destroyed.
Somebody that was extremely controversial. A lot of people didn't like that gentleman that you're talking about. Whether you like him or didn't like him, things happen. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that.
President Trump also...
Where is the part that I want to see? The part where this dumb reporter, it's not in this one then. Because it's very, I'll find it while I'm playing something else, because I really want you to see the president's level of frustration with these people. He is working overtime. I love you too. God bless you. What's up? Go. I like that. Love you back. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. They treated President Trump like a true royal fashion in the camels. And it was awesome. It was so beautiful and so regal. And our first lady, I showed that last night with her gorgeous designer dress on. And, you know, the president is sick of dealing with this shit. I'm just going to go off. I'm going into it with this Epstein bullshit. This so-called journalist asks the dumbest question. Why are you trying to embarrass the president in front of his guest? You cannot embarrass Donald Trump, you lowly skank. How many football players in college ran up your dress in practice? I'm sure there's a long, long list. What is wrong with this? These are jealous individuals. She's clearly jealous. Hold on. I have got to find this. What's up, Riddle Man? How you doing? What's up, my friend? What's up? To the beginning of him going to the press. Okay. I'm going to go find it. Hold on. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Hold, please. I have got to find this. Hold on. Uh, Let me see if this is it. I don't know. I bet it kills him to say President Donald Trump. I bet you it kills him every day to say President Donald Trump. I bet you it tears his guts up inside. This dude got irritable bowel syndrome because of Trump derangement syndrome. He works with CBS, so there's that whole thing. But I gotta who just said I gotta go to the front of the interview? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Right. Oh shit. You guys, I just realized I didn't bring it in. Sorry. My bad, my bad, my bad. Sorry.
$3 trillion. We're going to be 21 trillion. On top of that, prices are coming down. We inherited a mess with high prices.
Yes, you did.
The worst inflation in the history of our country. We had inflation that was a single 4 years, the worst inflation in the history of the United States.
Yes, sir.
The gas prices through the roof.
Yep.
And that's after destroying our petroleum reserve, which meant for wars and big emergencies, not to try and win an election. They opened up the reserve so that people get $3 less in gasoline, and it didn't work. They got about 3 cents less, because as big as those reserves are, they're peanuts when you're talking about that kind of traffic. And we're rebuilding the reserves. We're doing all of this, and we've done a job. We're also bringing down prices very substantially, and we've
remember how Joe Biden used our strategic oil reserves. I'm not going to let people forget what that old bastard did to this country. I'm not going to let people forget, lest we forget and repeat history again. Think it can't happen? Look at New York City. Clearly, they forgot about 9/11. They elected a jihadi to run the New York City. So they've forgotten. And I guarantee a lot of these individuals, the young people who voted for this clown, this snake oil salesman, Zorhan, Mamdami, Muhammad, are the children of 9/11 victims. Because see, they're millennials now. They're in the millennial generation, and they probably voted for that dude. But our president is talking about how Biden drained our strategic oil reserves that is supposed to only be used in a time of war. And see, during that time, President Trump, when he was in office the first time, he filled up the reserves to the brim at a low price. Because remember, fuel was inexpensive when he was in office the first time, because he brought it down due to our energy plan that was his idea to drill domestically. Drill, baby, drill. We did that, and the prices came way down. I remember paying $1.71 for gas back during the Trump administration in the first one. So Joe Biden comes in there, drains the reserves, and then has to go back at the end of like 2023, the beginning of 2024, and try to fill up the reserves at the highest price. Because under the Biden circus, aka administration, remember, gas was like $3, $4, up to $5 a gallon. If you were in California, it was over $7 a gallon. So anyway, President Trump is just giving you a brief history. You know how he rolls.
Down very, very substantially. Gasoline is way down. I think you'll be seeing $2 gasoline, but we're now at $2.50, $2.45.
Yes,
some are lower than that. It was $4.50, $5, $6, $3.50, $3.75. Under Biden, all different numbers, but way high. And we have energy way down. But the biggest thing to me, because I know what it means in jobs, is the fact that we're at over $17 trillion, Scott, and we expect to be around $21 trillion in 1 year.
Yes, sir.
And that's many times bigger than in history. The highest number was $3 trillion. And we're going to be at 21 trillion. That means new plants, new AI, new auto plants. We have auto plants coming in from Canada, from Mexico, from Germany, from Japan. Toyota just agreed to invest $10 billion on new auto plants, all American workers. We've never been in a position like this. You can go back to the beginning. Our country has never been in a position like this. And it really is because of the fact that we use tariffs to bring all this money in. And you're going to see the result time in the history of our country. And these are big plants. These are the biggest plants anywhere in the world. And I want to thank you because you've agreed to invest $600 billion into the United States. And because he's my friend, he might make it $1 trillion, but I'm going to have to work on him. But it's 600. We can count on 600 billion, but that number could go up a little bit higher. Yes, sir. I don't know. We'll see. But we appreciate it very much. So Saudi is going to be investing at least $600 billion, and that means investments in plants, in companies, money on Wall Street, and what it really means for everybody that really counts is jobs, a lot of jobs.
American
jobs. A lot of jobs. So I just want to thank you. We've been really good friends for a long period of time. We've always been on the same side of every issue. I think we've done a great job in wiping out the nuclear capacity of Iran. Nobody else could have done that. No other president would have done it.
Nope.
We had the pilots in the Oval Office right here. We were celebrating a very successful attack. So I had them in with that beautiful B-2 bomber that's over there. And they said, sir, for 22 years, we practiced this attack. Our predecessors, these were very young guys. So 22
Hold on.
years.
I think this might be it.
Appropriate, Mr. President.
You've been injured in a car accident, insurance company offer you $8 grand for a rear end crash? That ain't an offer, partner. That's a damn insult. We got a gal, 4 to 7 grand.
For your family to be doing business in Saudi Arabia while you're president.
Hold on. There's the ugly whore again. Hold on.
Reached agreement on that.
I wanted to ask you about the direct talks between the United States and Iran. Have you been fully briefed on that? And are you?
Hold on. I got to find the part where
Is it? We have more than anybody. Can you imagine?
And on the F-35s, are those sales, Israel had reportedly wanted those sales to be conditioned on Saudi Arabia moving
of new energy, AI, supply chain. How much you expected from that?
No limit. We just continue pushing forward. There's no limit. So we just push forward for all the opportunities that we have.
This is, you have to understand, this is really a great ally.
Yeah.
Just the
really want to, I want to find this spot. I think this might be it.
A horrible, insubordinate.
There it is.
Just a terrible
question. This is it.
It's not the question that I mind. It's your
Hold on.
attitude.
This is it right here. Look. I got to set this up. Look. Listen, I wish this could be louder, but I got to figure out how to do that microphone. But listen to how his tone changes. And she's standing over there sneering and, boiling over inside, can't barely stand there. in one place from her Trump derangement syndrome, combined with what I have coined the phrase as desperate X syndrome. Okay. She has a horrible case of acute TDS combined with the desperate X syndrome. And she can't stand that President Trump is in that office, and she can't stand that the Crown Prince and him are good friends, and she just hates her life, and she should, because she's pathetic. Listen to how he puts her on the barbecue grill.
And we may go the standard way. You know, it's nice to every once in a while go politically correct. But we have some great names. Steve,
have you talked to the President Maduro of Venezuela yet? Or are you still open to that?
He wants to talk.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm open to talk. I talk to everybody. But no, he wants to. They treated us very badly. They sent all of their prison population into the United States.
Yeah, they did.
And we're getting them out rapidly. But he sent all of his, and he sends drugs into the United States and other things. No, he treated us badly.
Yep.
He was dealing with a bad president, and he was able to get away. We have now, I think we have the strongest borders anywhere in the world. Nobody's coming in unless they come in legally. You know, we're taking very weak borders where millions of people came in. For the last 6 months, I mean, I don't do these reports. They say 0 people have been able to come in. Is that pretty good? I don't know if that is right, but it's
Mr. President, why wait for Congress to release the Epstein files? Why not just do it now?
You know, it's not the question that I mind, it's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched, or somebody psychs you over at ABC, you're going to psych it. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. As far as the Epstein files,
shake your head, bitch.
I have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. I threw him out of my club many years ago because I thought he was a sick pervert. But I guess I turned out to be right. But you know who does have? Bill Clinton, Larry Summers, who ran Harvard, was with him every single night, every single weekend. They lived together. They went to his island many times. I never did. Andrew Weissman, I hear. All these guys are friends of his. You don't even talk about those people. You just keep going on the Epstein files. And what the Epstein is a Democrat hoax to try and get me not to be able to talk about the $21 trillion that I talked about today.
Come on now.
It's a hoax. Now, I just got a little report, and I put it in my pocket, of all the money that he's given to Democrats. He gave me none, 0, no money to me.
Okay.
But he gave money to Democrats. And people are wise to your hoax. And ABC's, your company, your...
Yeah, including Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries is on the precious little Epstein files. Fuckers. Keep cooking, Mr. President. I'm sorry. Let me get up out your kitchen. Let me get up out your kitchen and let you keep cooking this hoe.
Crappy company is one of the perpetrators. And I'll tell you something. I think the license should be taken away from ABC.
Yes.
Because your news is so fake and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, the chairman, who should look at that. Because I think when you come in and when you're 97% negative to Trump, and then Trump wins the election in a landslide.
Yes, sir.
That means obviously your news is not credible, and you're not credible as a reporter. So I've answered your question. You should go and look at the Democrats who received money from Epstein.
Literally.
Who spent their time. Larry Summers was with him all the time. That creep of the fund guy was with him all the time. What's his name? Who? Reid Hoffman. I don't know Reid Hoffman, but I know he spends a lot of money on the radical left. Reid Hoffman, in my opinion, should be under investigation.
Yeah.
He's a sleazebag. And those are the people, but they don't get any press, they don't get any news. And you're not after the radical left because you're a radical left network. But I think the way you ask a question with the anger and the meanness is terrible. You ought to go back and learn how to be a reporter. No more questions from you. Who else has a question?
Now get back on that fucking broom and fly back to ABC News and tell them you didn't get the story. Or woo, it's hot in that kitchen, honey. President Trump cooked that bitch. Cooked that. Oh, what? What's that song from Hustle and Flow? Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick. I freaking love it. They hate this. They cannot stand it. They're used to weak Republicans, noodle legs, who just, okay. Let me go back to my constituents and get reelected, even though I don't do anything except get beaten on by Democrats. They're not used to people like President Trump, who stand up for himself and calls him to the mat and to the front of the congregation and puts them in front of everybody and holds them accountable for their ugly actions. Okay? That question was disrespectful and uncalled for. And thanks to that whore, ABC News is now likely going to get thrown out of the press pool and have their FCC license revoked. Okay? They're not going to be able to be in the press pool. And then see what's going to happen is they're going to get on and whine. No, he's not. You get to the point where you get sick of people. Whoa. Hello. That's like somebody standing in your, because that's the second time in this session with the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, he could buy that hoe and her family 14 generations back and still have trillions left over because she's a cheap hoe. You standing there trying to act like you're some Korean woman, hear me roar. Nobody cares, Becky. Nobody cares. Nobody outside of your house and your stupid little family gives a crap about you. I don't even know her name. She's completely irrelevant, completely insignificant, and the tone and the classless, unprofessional delivery of her questions are completely off base. That was not the time or the place. President Trump is entertaining the crown prince of Saudi Arabia, who he's good friends with. He doesn't need a nasty bitch who goes to the wine bar 3 days out of the week and drinks during the day, trying to pretend that she's some kind of boss bitch. No, you're not. You're an ugly bitch. And now you're probably going to lose your job. So go get your wine bottles at your local your local alcohol store or whatever they call that, because now they got the fancy schmancy liquor stores in the suburbs. So it ain't called a liquor store where you get a 40 ounce. Now it's like a liquor world or something. It's something bougie because it's in the suburbs where all the drunk white liberal bitches live. Dude, I can't stand these hoes. You know how I roast white liberal females? They are the worst in this country and in the world. They are the worst. White liberal females are the worst because they're the loudest saying nothing. Blah, 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 freaking blah. Meaningless. Nothing that benefits anyone. None of these people have any solutions as to how to get the prices down in this country. They fawned over Joe Biden, even though he was half dead the whole time he was in office. Some of the pressure. I know roaches. What? Or passing out, falling down on the stage in front of a bunch of military brass. The Easter Bunny had to lead him back to the correct spot because he was getting ready to just fucking wander off. Bro, and she worshiped him. Yep. What's up, Awakened Pleb? You see me cutting up over here, girl? I can't help it. These females drive me up. Oh my gosh. They are the freaking worst. They are the worst, bro. Anyway, she was rude, disrespectful, and ABC should absolutely have their license pulled. And it should be a cautionary tale to the rest of the Jezebel whore Sodom and Gomorrah media. FAFO. Retard. Unfreaking believable, these people. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. How disrespectful is that? How horribly disrespectful that is. Absolutely horrible. Ugh. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you because that is important, that we understand what kind of morons that we unfortunately are stuck with at this point. Oh, here's more Democrat news because, you know, they're always the ones in trouble, but they're the ones who scream the loudest about how something is wrong with President Trump and his supporters. Well, you know, let's just throw shade on them for a good while. This is interesting, and this news came out. This is live now from Fox. House Democrat charged with stealing $5 million in FEMA funds. Oh, they're such morally upstanding citizens, right? Because Trump is Hitler, Trump is racist, Trump is this, Trump is that. But this individual, Bonquavia here, is charged. She's been charged, bro. She stole $5 million from FEMA. But let's hear what this correspondent has to say. This is live now from Fox.
Welcome back, everyone, here to Live Now from Fox. We continue to bring you some of the day's biggest top stories and headlines. We do have some breaking news that we want to bring to you regarding a member of Congress. We are learning from South Florida tonight. U.S. Rep. Sheila Sherfless McCormick of Florida has been indicted on charges accusing her of stealing $5 million in federal disaster funds and using some of the money to aid her 2021 campaign, the Justice Department said today. The Democrat is accused of stealing a federal emergency management agency that her family healthcare company and received through a federally funded COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract, federal prosecutors said. A portion of the money was then funneled to support her campaign through candidate contributions, prosecutors allege. Using disaster relief funds for self-enrichment is a particularly selfish, cynical crime, the Attorney General Pam Bondi said in a statement. No one is above the law, least of all powerful people who...
And nah, bitch, it ain't because you black, it's because you a thief. So I don't want you trying to pull the race card to protect yourself, because that does not work anymore. We are done with DEI. I am a black woman, and I say, Put the bitch behind bars.
Rob taxpayers for personal gain. We will follow through the facts in this case and deliver justice. A phone message left at McCormick's Washington office was not immediately returned, but again, we will be keeping an eye on this for you right here on Live Now from Fox. You saw the report there from the New York Post there as the Democratic Florida lawmaker that has been indicted. Bill Malugin, our very own Bill Malugin of Fox News saying this X with the breaker. DOJ charges Congresswoman Sheila Sherfless McCormick, a Democrat from Florida, with stealing $5 million in FEMA funds, laundering the proceeds, and then using the money to support her 2021 congressional campaign. She faces up to 53 years in prison if convicted. So we will be keeping an eye on this for you. Bill Malugin then puts on X as well. According to the indictment, DOJ says Sherfless McCormick, who's 46, and her brother, Edwin Sherfless, 51, both of them worked through their family health care company on a FEMA-funded COVID-19 vaccination staffing contract back in 2021. In July of that year, the company received an overpayment of $5 million in FEMA funds.
Wow!
That indictment just coming down by a DOJ earlier today. The Attorney General, Pam Bondi, again, is saying in a statement, no one is above the law, least of all powerful people who rob taxpayers for personal gain. We will follow the facts in this case and deliver justice. No remarks from the representatives' camp or office this evening.
Of course not. They don't want to talk about it. Of course not. And by the way, what the Marissa? What's up, girl? I got busy today, but we'll chat tomorrow. How you doing, love? How is it down in sunny Florida? I am so jelly. It's cold as hell out here. Already. It's ridiculous. I'm so tired of the cold, bro. I'm so tired of the cold. Oh my gosh. I'm jelly, girl. I'm jelly. I love you. How you doing? Oh my God. Follow Marissa. Push past paralysis on X, you guys. Today was a day. Oh goodness. Yeah, we got to talk tomorrow. But look. So this Sheila Shakulis, whatever the hell her name is, that nobody has ever heard of because she's not relevant. But Democrats, remember how hard y'all pushed, including some Republicans, to get George Santos thrown out of his seat in Congress? Remember that? I don't see any calls yet for Shaquita over here to get thrown out of Congress. Why not? Y'all set the standards and changed all the rules to get George Santos thrown out. I want to see something on the House floor to have this Sheila superfluous bullcrap, whatever her name is, thrown out of Congress immediately. She should immediately lose her seat. There's no, Democrats, Y'all could not get rid of George Santos. George Santos sat in prison until, praise God, President Trump pardoned him and got him out the clinker. But if Joe Biden would have been in there, they would have forgot about him. He wouldn't have seen the light of day again. So I keep saying, thank the Lord Christ for President Trump. But I'm telling you, Tina Peters is next. Colorado is going to have to stop holding Tina Peters hostage. She is a hostage at this point. She is a hostage. She was kidnapped by a corrupt, demonic, devil-worshiping bunch of losers who caused Colorado great pain and abuse. Believe me, I know. I have been here for it. And they threw Tina Peters in prison to shut her up. And they were trying to leave her in there long enough to die in prison. I know what they're doing, but they're going to have to let that woman go. President Trump is sick of Colorado and this dumb slob out here, this cosplay governor, pretending to be a governor, trying to run for president. Oh my God, what an embarrassment. Wait a minute, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Here we go. Look at this. Oh, this freaking oh my God. Look at this creep. Where is the video? I want y'all to see the video, and there's nothing playing the video yet. Where is the dog video? Hold on. This is what I have been stuck with in this this state. Hold on. Here it is. Let me show you the garbage and the absolute moronity of this creep. Would you, and this goofball somehow thinks that he is presidential material. What's up, cat? What's up, baby girl? Look at this creep. Look at this creep. You came in just in time for me to talk about this creep. Would anybody, like, people care about what the president looks like. I don't know what happened. Maybe these Democrats had a case of cataracts or something with Joe Biden, but usually even he with dementia looked a little bit more presentable than this creep. Look at this. Look at this. He was raked over the coals for this. Look at this.
Feliz Navidad. Feliz Navidad.
Jesus, help us.
Feliz Navidad. Prospero año y felicidad.
Oh, God. That's the so-called governor of Colorado. Oh, my God. Let me get that crap off of my computer. What an embarrassment. What an absolute embarrassment. He's a slob. He wears tennis shoes literally everywhere. Okay? And he's a slob. His tie is always like half done. His shirts are dirty. He's a slob, dude. Nobody, oh my God. World leaders would be like, what is this? Ugh. And by the way, world leaders from Muslim countries will not meet him. They will not meet with him, and they would not shake his hand. They would not touch him because he's openly gay. The thing that he used to get Democrats to vote him into office back in 2018 is the very thing that will disqualify him from being president. We already had that with Obama. We don't need it again. Okay? We're done with that crap. We're done. And Obama was a Muslim, so they tolerated him. But you're a slob, white liberal. Nobody's going to vote for him. And world leaders will not meet with him. They will not take him seriously. So I don't care how much money somebody would pour into a campaign for him, he would not win. His look alone, with all the time looking like Squidward, he would not win. So you might as well just you rep Colorado. You already have money. You were wealthy before this. And I get off on a tangent when I start talking about Colorado and Tina Peters and how horribly they did her. But I'm telling you, look for it before the end of the year. I'm telling you, they're going to have to release her because President Trump is sick of dealing with these people here. That he knows that this is a den of thieves and a bunch of criminals who keep covering up their own crimes. And he has had enough of Colorado officials. Mark my words. Disgusting. Okay, let's get to a few other things before we sign off. Everybody doing okay? You know, I really wish you wouldn't get copyright strikes for music and all that. Because I love music and I would play music like left and right. I love music. Speaking of our beloved president, this is what he posted on Truth Social. This is Trump War Room on X, and President Trump posted on Truth Social, the only healthcare I will support or approve is sending the money directly back to the people with nothing going to the big, fat, rich insurance companies who have made trillions and ripped off America long enough. He's had it. He's had it. The people will be allowed to negotiate and buy their own much better insurance. Power to the people. Congress, do not waste your time and energy on anything else. Did y'all hear that? This is the only way to have great health care in America. Get it done now. President DJT, thank you for your attention to this matter, assholes. We voted you in. Okay? We voted you in, and we expect you to do the job that you were hired to do, Congress. Supposed MAGA. I want to see some freaking legislation on the table. I know y'all bastards getting ready to leave for holidays, but y'all need to do something and get the last 4 years off of our backs. We elected you people to follow President Trump's agenda and the America First agenda. That is the only thing we will accept. And President Trump said the only health care he would support or approve is sending the money directly to the people, not to the insurance companies that have gotten fat, rich, and wealthy off of the Obamacare subsidies, or as I call it, death care. Don't believe me? I clearly remember that my daughter has a tombstone at the cemetery. I have to go there to see her as a direct result of the Obamacare death care system. Ask me why I can't stand slim slacks. Ask me why I have no patience for him, and I will be glad when he goes back to Kenya. Oh yeah, by the way, Barry, leave that money here. So Congress, members of Congress, MAGA, you have your orders. If you are not going to work with President Trump to get this agenda done, we don't need you, and you will be primaried. You can go work at a you know what? President Trump shouldn't even have to ask. Excuse you. Excuse you. Thank you, cat mother. He should not even have to pick up the phone and ask. You should just say, Mr. President, sir, y'all should be calling him. What do you need me to do? My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, if you're Jewish, and my president, sir, what you need me to do today? I don't want to hear it. Don't anybody else? No. He should not have to get up to get his agenda done. You bastards, that is why we elected you to your seat in Congress. The only reason y'all have a seat is because the president put you there. If he doesn't endorse you, you don't win. He should not have to get up and walk over to the freaking halls of Congress and tell y'all, you need to vote on this. You need to get this done. You need to get this done. You need to get this legislation passed. You need to write new legislation. Why does the president, who is stopping 8 world wars, working on the 9th one, stopping Iran from nuclear proliferation, stopping wars from an aggression from every country who hates us, stopping tribal wars between freaking Nigeria and whoever else they're fighting over in freaking the Horn of Africa, bringing in $21 trillion so that we can start getting dividend checks from all the freaking tariffs he's bringing in here, getting the economy restarted, bringing energy back to the United States, bringing jobs back and manufacturing back to the United States so these young people can have a job that lasts them more than 6 months. And it ain't just a serving job. You getting a career. He's doing everything, juggling 15 balls at once. He sleeps 3 hours a night, gets up and is absolutely flawless the next day, and takes calls from world leaders. He still takes the time when his grandbaby calls him. I love when his granddaughter Kai, I think she's on the young ladies LGPA tour. When his granddaughter calls, everybody got away. I love that so much. He's everywhere doing all these things, but he got to chase down members of Congress that we elected. What else are you good for? You have only one job. It is to complete the president's agenda. Okay? We don't need any fake MAGA, anybody who says that they were and now they're because they didn't get the job they wanted. I really still to this day, I hope that's like a psyop. I really hope it's a psyop, because I'm going to tell you, remember when, and I'm all over the place, but don't worry about it. It's Thursday Live. We just going to do what we do. Remember when Elon kind of out of the blue, him and President Trump seemed to have this tussle back and forth. And Elon was like, well, that's why you and Epstein files. Remember, that's when the Democrats were like, what? What? Here? What? Oh, do tell. Remember that? Huh? Remember that shit? That's when, that is at the point where the Democrats started going hard with release the files, release the files, release the files, release the files, release the files. They wouldn't shut up about it. It was right after Elon posted that mess on X that day. And I have not chimed in on it to this day, except to say during that time, this is a psyop. Go back and look through my text, my X posts. I knew something was up right down Elon's back, because I know something is going on here. There's no way that he is fighting with President Trump like that. I'm just going to be quiet and see what happens. Lo and behold, all of this time later, that is 5D chess if I ever seen it. They baited him. It was a bait and switch. It was a complete total bait, and they fell for it. These are the dumbest people on planet Earth. Every time they fall for it, every single time. Like he can do it 500 times and they'll still fall for it, because they have Trump derangement syndrome so bad, and desperate X syndrome. They refuse to let go. Like they fell for it. He trapped them. He got the Democrats to beg for and demand the release of the Epstein files. God, dog. Ugh. How are they this dumb? He was like, I ain't got to do nothing. Hold on. Just chill out. Just a second. Elon, I'm going to need you to do this. Remember when they were burning his cars and burning his dealerships? There's still people sitting in prison over that. I bet you they wish they had made a different decision, because there is now a non-Democrat politician who has volunteered to bail them out. That's why I tell soldiers, don't listen to these dumb politicians in DC. Don't listen to the psyop. Don't listen to these dumbass politicians like Alyssa Slotkin and Jason Crow and Mark Kelly. Don't let them get you kicked out the military, because they will not have your back. Just look at all the dumbasses who, even one in Fort Collins, Colorado, this poor kid is still sitting behind bars. He has never been in trouble before. But the Democrats drove him so mad that he like tried to burn a Tesla dealership or something. And he's been in prison for months. Bro, you can't do these things to try to appease these people, because they do not have your back. I know these dumb people said at the end of their stupid little video, we've got your back. No, you don't. You've already shown you don't have anybody's back but your own. Do not listen to them. They do not have your back. They will not bail you out of jail. They will not hire an attorney for you. They will act like they've never said it. I implore you, soldiers in the military, do not listen to any Democrats. They are insane. But back to the psyop. It was masterful, absolutely masterful. And now that the Epstein, their files, these manila file folders in bankers' boxes that they wanted so bad, are implicating them. These files are implicating them. Hold on. I gotta find it. God, where is it? Do I have it in here? No. No, that's not it. But is this it? No. But I'll get to this one in a second. Hakeem Jeffries. Oh, that's what happened. Here, I'll pull it in a second. Check this out. This no name, this clout, so-called whip, Catherine Clark. Have you guys ever heard of her? I've never heard of her. I don't know who she is. I've no idea who she is. This was her a couple of days ago.
I absolutely think it is important that we have a vote with those Republican names voting yes to release the files.
What's wrong with your neck and your crooked ass mouth? The hell wrong with you, lady? Your TDS, you need to get something done about that Trump derangement syndrome.
Because there hasn't been a lot of commentary from the Senate. The president has not spoken about what he expects from Republicans in the Senate. This is
because he's busy saving the world and cleaning up your mess from the last 4 years. You old witch.
Has been a very House-specific effort on his part to block these files. So
he's not trying to block the files. The files have been released. Anyway, that's a retard. I don't even want to deal with that ugly face any longer. How stupid and disgusting. Okay, dummy, the files have been released. Here, let's see if I can get this. Dang. No, I can't get it any. I can't get it any bigger. Dang, that sucks. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, Hakeem Jeffries was supposed to be the new Obama or whatever. I don't know. He was supposed to be the new Obama. So Jeffrey Epstein poured money into Hakeem Jeffries' election or candidacy. Interesting. So, Hakeem, exactly how is it that you knew Jeffrey Epstein well enough that he donated money to your campaign personally? Hakeem, how is that? Because Jeffrey Epstein didn't donate one dime to Donald Trump's election campaign either. Well, definitely not the second time he was dead. Oh boy. I don't think they fully appreciate exactly the Pandora's box that they have opened. Yeah. Very, very, very interesting. Let me see if this one comes up. Nah, I should have, you know what? I know what to do from now on. I'm just going to delete these because they're too small. But you know, things are getting better in this country only because President Trump has been working his butt off day and night to clean up the mess on aisle 5 that was left after the last 4 years. Yeah, interesting. Here's another little gem. Why not? Let's just Johnny MAGA posted over on X. Virginia high school assistant and his brother arrested for plotting to shoot ICE agents.
Charged with threatening to shoot police and ICE agents, and one of them is an assistant principal at Kempsville High School. Yesterday, Beach police arrested 54-year-old John Bennett. School officials say he's currently on leave from his position there. The other suspect is 59-year-old Mark Bennett. Court documents reveal several disturbing details about this investigation. So let's send it over to 10 on Your Side's Ethan Krause, who joins us live outside of that school. Ethan.
Yeah, Aisha, good afternoon. And you said it, the court documents do reveal details leading to the arrest of Kempsville High School Assistant Principal John Bennett. Now, according to the Virginia Beach Police Department, John Bennett and his brother Mark were both arrested on November 16th after police received information that the brothers threatened to commit acts of violence against local police and ICE agents. Court documents reveal that the brothers were overheard talking at a restaurant where Mark Bennett mentioned how he had an assault rifle with the ability to utilize explosive rounds that could penetrate protective vests. He also mentioned flying to Las Vegas to meet with like-minded people and how he would return with, quote, enforcement ideas and plans. The documents went on to state that John Bennett added statements of support and enthusiasm for the suggested violence and also expressed interest in joining his brother on the trip to Vegas. Now, both brothers were arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit malicious wounding.
2 brothers have been arrested, charged.
Unfreaking believable. That was an assistant principal. That was an assistant principal and his brother. God, dog. Oh my God. You have Trump derangement syndrome that bad that you would literally plot to shoot ICE agent? What are you? It is just hard to actually believe that there are American citizens who are that stupid. Not one protest. I mean, nothing. And I don't care. I'm going to talk about it often. Tina Peters is languishing in a prison cell. I don't see any of this foolishness that is being done by American citizens. And then the crank far left media wants to say, oh, well, they're arresting American citizens. You damn straight they are, because they get in the way of ICE operations. These are federal operations. A lot of these individuals are murderers, rapists. They have stolen cars, homes. These individuals have been given final removal orders by a judge, which is considered their due process. What the hell are you doing at these? Nobody should be there except the ICE agents and those that they are taking out of here. These people have cost us over $1 trillion the last 4 years. They have cost us. Some of this is irreparable damage with all these people coming in here. Hold on. I think people forget shit too fast. I think people literally forget things too fast, and they forget where we came from. Hold on. Look at this. Bro, look at this shit. You tell me why I should be concerned about all these bastards getting rolled up and roll them up, move them out, rawhide, get them out of here. You tell me one good reason why I should be concerned about any of these people. They invaded our country. They came in by the millions. I keep saying 50 million. And as I mentioned earlier, now there are other people. I heard Steve Bannon say it on the War Room the other day. We need a complete moratorium on all immigration for at least 5 years. I have been saying that shit for at least 3 years. You can go back through my ex posts. I guarantee I have said it at least 10 times. Absolute complete moratorium on all immigration. All of it. I have said that for years, and I meant it, and I still meant it. But see, now people are starting to catch on to that because they see that we can't move forward. Great aliens are gone, bro. They gotta go. Look at this. And then we getting off of here. Remember this? This is NBC News 3 years ago in 2021. Remember this shit?
Along a roadway in southern Mexico, a seemingly endless stream of people making their way on foot towards the United States.
Look at this. Look at this. I'm never going to let people forget about this.
United States. Men, women, and children walking through pouring rain and sweltering heat.
Look at this shit. A cart full of freaking, what the fuck is this? It makes me mad, bro. I can't even hold my mouth when it comes to this because we were treated like crap. American citizens who paid the bills for every last one of these bastards, we were treated like crap. But they were treated like royalty.
Men, women, and children walking through pouring rain and sweltering heat. They come from across Latin America, places like Venezuela, Cuba, and Colombia, all with the same goal, immigration to the U.S.
Oh my God.
We left Colombia because of the homophobia.
Because of homophobia? Bro.
We both got physically and verbally attacked. We had to cross the Darien jungle and trails through many xenophobic countries.
It's the latest and one of the largest migrant caravans to make the nearly 2,000-mile trek north through Mexico. The group's journey began Monday in the city of Tapachula. Organizers claim there are nearly 15,000 migrants in the caravan, but authorities in Mexico estimate it's closer to 5,000. Robinson Reyes is making the desperate journey and says the current policy, in which migrants process their paperwork in southern Mexico rather than at the U.S. border, is not working quickly enough.
We've been here for almost a month, and they haven't solved anything regarding the humanitarian visa. We want a future for our families. We are not violent. We just want a better future for our families.
Oh, and American citizens, we don't. We don't. I just want to keep it top of mind as to why the president is doing what he's doing. Don't worry, I'll be here to remind you.
And setting off on the very same day that world leaders from across the hemisphere meet in Los Angeles at the Summit of the Americas. It's the first time the U.S. has hosted the triennial conference since it began in Miami in 1994. But this year's summit kicking off with controversy over a number of exclusions. The United States refusing to invite leaders from Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua.
The president's principal position is that we do not believe that dictators should be invited.
Prompting leaders like the president of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, to skip the conference and send a representative instead.
No puede haber cumbre de las Américas si no participan todos los países del continente americano.
Now the presidents of Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala following suit, announcing they too would not attend the summit.
Señor Presidente de la República,
the only one with any good sense is President Nayib Bukele of El Salvador.
No asistirá a la Cumbre de las Américas.
The absence of the countries from which many of the migrants originate threatening to derail the goals of the summit. And while some leaders are opting not to attend, the White House is moving forward with the summit, hoping to continue with the planned agenda, focusing on migration, COVID, and economics. President Joe Biden is expected to arrive in Los Angeles on Wednesday.
And absolutely.
Thanks for watching.
Of wasting our taxpayer money for the Summit of the Americas. It got worse. It got absolutely freaking worse. Bro, oh my God. We lose these midterms, we're cooked. We're cooked. I do not. I'm not being hyperbolic. These Democrats are vengeful. They're pissy. They're cornered animals. Well, I don't like to use because I love animals. They're cornered demons when a priest enters the room. They've already shown us what they'll do to us when they're in power. I don't know. Remember the January 6th political prisoners? Remember everything they have been through? Some of them didn't make it out of there. Some of them took their own lives because they could not deal with Merrick Garland and the Joe Biden Injustice Department and all of the voluminous charges, the fake charges, felonies, misdemeanors that were jacked up to felonies just to rake these people over the coals for doing nothing more than either being on the lawn of or walking into the Capitol of that we pay for, by the way. We pay for. Our tax dollars pay for it. They did nothing more. What you see, the videos that these Democrats and the Unselect Committee and Miss Piggy, Liz Cheney, and Adam Kinzinger and Mickey Thompson. Golly, I'm talking about Mickey Thompson tires. Benny Thompson. All of the Hollywood chopped and screwed videos that they posted, all they show is a bunch of people who had just been flashbanged and tear gassed. Of course, there's going to be pandemonium, but they didn't show you what the videos leading up to it. They didn't show you the people walking arm in arm and praying and singing Amazing Grace. They didn't show you what actually happened. And I fully believe that someday soon, the true stories of January 6, 2021 will be told. We got too much other stuff going on right now, but that story needs to be told. The truth. These people still have not been made whole. We need to have more urgency about what we are doing, because these people, these demons, will not hesitate to do that and worse. These Democrats, the level of hatred that they have toward President Trump and toward us, they will break every law. They don't give a crap. They've already shown us they don't care about laws, but they expect him to follow them to the letter. You know, rules for thee, but not for me. If they get back in control, because these weak ass freaking Republicans don't go scorched earth on these bastards, they're at this particular point in time, there's no excuse. I hate it for you. There's no excuse. Speaker Johnson, we appreciate the few things that you have done to support the president, but that's what we hired you for. That's what you're supposed to do. You ain't gonna get no dang on a buffet at Golden Corral for doing what you were hired to do. What? Want a gift certificate? Go buy it yourself. But if you want to keep those congressional seats, you're going to have to do more than you're doing. You're going to have to do more. You're going to have to stop worrying about your reputation and your reelection and your money and stealing more money and making deals and doing this and that and the other. And you have to save this country. It has come time. God save the republic. God save the republic. My husband died for this country, bro. Maybe this just means more to me than it means to everybody else, but God, have we not seen how evil and horrible these wretched demons who are not supposed to be in this realm, how evil they are toward everything? At the first chance that they get, they will immediately start impeachment hearings. Everything that President Trump has built to that will be dismantled. Bro, I know we're getting into the holidays and everything, but after the first of the year, I'm telling you, we gotta have urgency like never before. This shit is bothersome, man. You got a freaking communist jihadi running the New York, the biggest financial capital in the world, run by a smiling ass jihadi who will blow your ass up and smile at you at the same time. Boom. But at least he smiled when he did it. Smiling, smiling, smiling Muhammad. Smiling Muhammad. How can people be so stupid to fall for that shit? We have to have an urgency like never before. Or we're going to lose this republic. And we won't get it back. I have to take my kids and leave here. Because, why fight for everybody else if they're not willing to fight for themselves? At some point, I'm telling you, these members of Congress, we got to start using Bill Blaster, Grace Chong, she did Bill Blaster. We got to start blowing their phones up, dude. And I mean, like, relax. I'm talking about relax, liberals. I'm talking about like using the phone and the email and the text messages and the things and the things and the things and letting them know we're here. It does work. Look what happened with Governor Greg Abbott in Texas. He got so much heat from the War Room posse. That fool hurry up and named the Muslim Brotherhood and CARE as terrorist organizations. It's like, I can't take another phone call, okay? Y'all, please hold all my calls. Please. Just, I'm tired of hearing the phone ring. Put it on mute. But it works. It works. It works. There's a story in the Bible about the king who got, the widow came to the king all the time asking for the things that she wanted and kept coming back and kept coming back. And the king was finally like, Lord, have mercy, Jesus, get this woman what she wants. Because I'm tired of this woman. Please give her what she wants. Please. I'm begging you. Have my staff just give her whatever she wants. It works. I know we're tired and we're weary, but where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? As like, honestly, where are we going to go? I just showed you that caravan of individuals from everywhere on planet Earth. Even there's terrorists in that caravan back from 2022. Everybody from everywhere came here looking for handouts. Gimme, 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 gotcha. Gimme, 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 gimme. And Joe Biden gave it to them. Everything they wanted and more. They were living the American dream while the American citizens lived in hell. We don't have nowhere to go. We don't have nowhere to go. So we got to fight for where we are. God in heaven, God save the republic. All right, you guys, I have done my rant, but I'm telling you, I just see people really just dividing and splitting and listening to these crazy people who claim they're conservatives and they are starting their own party and all that. You know, we can't, oh, Jesus. Look, they're without Donald Trump. Who else was doing it before him? Don't worry, I'll wait. Who else was doing it before him? There is no Republican Party without Donald Trump's policies, his America First policies that have jump-started this economy again. It's like having those the electrodes, you rub them together, put the goop on there and rub them together and that is America. So we got. My husband used to tell me that. We're all we got. Yeah, I know. And I stayed with him to the end. So we got to save the republic. That's it. That's all I care about. For my children, for my little nieces and nephews. I don't have any grandchildren, and my children don't want children. For future generations. I love you guys. I appreciate you so much. God is good. I mean, there's over 900 people watching and just seeing what's in my heart. That's all. I'm just so humbled by that, and I appreciate you very, very much. I try to always tell you, I take nothing for granted. Life is a thin little thread, little thin thread. That's it. So, God bless you. When I say it, I mean it. Pray for President Trump, man. Straight up and down. Pray for him. Pray for our First Lady, their children, their grandchildren. Pray for each other, man. Let's pray for this place, this beautiful place we have that millions of people are trying to get to. God bless you guys, and God save the Republic. Peace out.